People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you for tuning back in each and every time. Hit the like, comment and subscribe button, and make sure you do that at the start and the end or at some point, people. I want to hear your opinions. I obviously need your likes, people. What was I going to say now? Obviously, the first month or month and a bit in regards to the Premier League has now been completed. It's the international break. There's really nothing else to speak about. So why not discuss some of what we've seen in the Premier League? First of all is Leicester. Now, I want to speak about Leicester because Brendan Rodgers, for me, has got them playing good. They made some good signings. They've obviously they let Maguire go, but they've made some good signings. They've started off the league in a good fashion. People, many people are saying, can they qualify for the Champions League? Can they be the ones to break in the top four? They're looking at the teething problems of Unai Emery and Arsenal. They're looking at Chelsea's inconsistencies with clean sheets and Lampard being appointed. People are beginning to question Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and actually I've seen Matic's comments, and if I'm Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'd be absolutely livid, people. He's kind of in the international break, he's kind of dropped his manager right in it and said if he don't win the league, if we don't challenge for the league, it's all on his head essentially. Obviously he recognised the players, but clearly Matip is a disgruntled figure. He wants to play football. Maybe he doesn't consider Ole Gunnar Solskjaer senior enough, obviously playing under Jose and other things and winning titles in the Premier League. He clearly believes he should be playing. So there's a couple of bad eggs in that side. They're ironically not the certain individual I believe that's always painted over the United headlines, but I'd be going mad at Ole Gunnar. If I was Ole, I'd be mad at Matic. But back to Leicester, I think Leicester have done well. Obviously, Vardy's on fire. Vardy scored that lovely little effort the other day. Apologies while I just type in Premier League, people, because showing me everything but the table. Come on. So Leicester are third. Good on them. 8 points, 4 wins, 2 draws. I think they look good. They've looked good, man. They've looked good. We don't really need to speak about Liverpool and Manchester City. It's been business as usual against them. City of obviously Laporte's been injured, so we'll have to see how that one develops and what happens in that one there, people, because he's been injured and their squad, arguably defensively, their resources are being stretched early on in the window. In the season, and you could argue that Pep and that they welcome the international break right now just to avoid the risk of it happening further in so quick a time. Liverpool look good. I'd say the only thing I'd say with Liverpool is that I think they could convince a bit more by their own standards last season defensively. And I'm sure most Liverpool fans would say there's been a couple of moments where maybe players are looking a bit rusty or not quite as switched on. I'm sure most Liverpool fans, if they're really scrutinising it, would agree with that. But City and Liverpool are open books. City on 10, Liverpool on 12. Obviously, City have drawn a game against Spurs. Liverpool have not drawn or lost, so they've done what they've needed to do. 12 points from 4 games. Everton have been a bit. Arsenal are on 7, obviously after the draw and defeat to Liverpool. Palace are 4th. Arsenal are 5th. Big up Crystal Palace for beating United, of course. Everton are 6th. West Ham are 7th. United are 8th after obviously drawing with Southampton and losing to Palace, and question marks early on for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer really and truly probably be asked. But I think the board probably know it, but fans would have to recognise, looking at that squad and some of the young players, and allegedly as an outsider looking at what Ole's potentially trying to do with integrating youth and first and foremost playing people that want to play for the United shirt and show that sort of football heritage stuff. It's going to take time. Paul Scholes even came out today and said they'll be out of action for 2 years in terms of challenging for a title. Who knows, people? The season can still turn around. It's very early on, but who knows? Only 4 games have been played. There's still 34 games left for everybody. Twists and turns. Spurs are 9th, and to be honest, Spurs look a bit unsettled because of reasons off the field. Obviously, Pochettino's spoken in the press. Ericsson won't shut up. Rose, it looks like he wanted to really just make a point by going Watford. He made his bed, now he had to line it, sort of thing. Question marks really over Jan Vertonghen and Toby. Jan Vertonghen's been dropped and he got the black eye. People are putting question marks at Kane's form and whatnot, but at the end of the day, Spurs have got 5 points, a draw and 2 draws against City, definitely against City. They probably should have scored more against us. I mean, what I mean by that is, Arsenal, I feel, as an Arsenal fan, I feel we should have won that game. We can sit here and do the ifs, buts and our Spurs can probably feel the same way based on that draw. So based on that, a point against Arsenal and definitely a point against City, considering City were all over them and didn't take their chances, are good points. They live to fight another day. Spurs are in 5th. Sheffield United are 10th, and Sheffield United for Arsenal away will be a difficult game. I want to beat them and I want it to be a convincing win, but that's still City energy that they feed off. Chelsea have For me, Chelsea look like they can put together some good attacking moves, and there's something there for Chelsea. I just feel first and foremost, Lampard's got to get these lot remaining focused for large periods. They've dropped points against Sheffield United for not being able to defend properly and being switched on in late periods. Obviously, for me, they were always going to beat Norwich, but they made it harder than they had to be on top of. Give credit to Norwich. Norwich were good, but I feel they made it harder twice the game than it had to be. Obviously, against United showed, out of all the teams they've played, how frail Chelsea looked potentially defensively. So the race for the top four between Arsenal, United, Spurs, and Chelsea at this moment in time, because nobody looks convincing out of the rest of the top 6, 4 teams don't really look convincing. It'll be interesting. So it'll be interesting for that. Burnley are 12th, Southampton are 13th. Yeah, Newcastle are 14th, new manager in that. Brighton are 16th, Bournemouth are 15th. Should potentially Eddie Howe be potentially doing better considering all the plaudits he gained and what people say? Who knows? I must admit, people, Watford and Wolves. Many people were saying Wolves were being on what Leicester would be on potentially right now. Wolves is still early, but 3 points from 4 games, that don't really look good for Nuno, man, because they look, definitely no one wants to play Wolves now. Nobody wants to play Wolves. So you would have thought that. Watford, a single point from 4 games, people. 3 defeats, 1 draw, I think. That's terrible for Watford. I thought, considering the signings they made and their progress last season, I'm not saying they would be in the top 4, but you would have backed them to... I don't know, if you had to bet on the top 10 at this period in the season a month ago, I'm sure people would have probably put Watford in the top 10, in a top 10 position, people, I'm sure. So, Watford, I don't know what's happening there, people. They can still turn it around, but that one looks a bit mad. Norwich are 19th, Aston Villa are 18th. Villa look decent as well, to be fair. I've been impressed the most with Norwich out of the promoted teams. And probably Sheffield. In terms of spirit, I'd say Sheffield. And never giving up and all them thing there. Norwich in terms of technical ability and things. Villa has been alright, like really. Villa, I don't got a problem with Villa. I feel McGinn looks decent and he'll be one to potentially get a move out of that club if they get relegated. Who knows, man? But Brighton are a bit meh, and they could get into the relegation race. The relegation race will be interesting because right now I think the teams that are fighting for relegation will be obviously, I believe, all promoted teams. Villa, this is all with a month to be said, people. I believe Norwich, Villa, Sheffield, I think Brighton. I feel depending on how Steve Bruce does at Newcastle, I don't think Newcastle will go down, but many people are saying they could be thrown into it. I'm not going to lie, I'd love to see Burnley get relegated, people. I hold my hands up. Apologies, Burnley fans, but I'd love Burnley to go down. I hope they're involved in that. Southampton for the last couple of years seem to be flirting with that stuff, so I'd say them, but it'll be interesting. I feel the relegation race, we say this every year, but the relegation race, the top 4 race and the title race in regards to the 2 teams, Liverpool and City, will be very interesting, people. I've really got nothing more to add, people. That's just my thoughts in regards to the first month of the Premier League season. I also want to say, from an Arsenal point of view, shout out to Joe Willock. I feel he didn't start against Spurs, but he's been decent. Guendouzi obviously plaudits for the Spurs game. Obviously, I've got to plug some Arsenal players. I feel Vardy's look good in particular as well. I feel Raheem Sterling's look sharp, as has Bernardo. The Liverpool lads look on it again. Salah looks mad, and you can even tell when he was being greedy. And Mane looked vexed when he got subbed. He wants goals this season. Aubameyang looks decent. Mason Mount's taking his chances and looks to be Lampard's protege. And Ndombile's injured now, but he's looked like an instant hit at Spurs. It's a shame I'm going to have an agenda against him, even though I wanted him at Arsenal when he was at Amiens or whatever the club's name is. On that note, people, Deluded, I'm out. Thank you for watching and rocking as usual. Yeah, this is hurting my ear. Why was this in my ear the whole vid? Apologies, people. I'm out.